All right. So today you're going to draw from poses 2. This will start with 1 minute poses and then 5 minute poses, and it will end with an 8 minute pose. So with the 1 minute, you'll be doing just the lines, and then in the 5 minute, you'll be adding the lines and the forms, paying attention to pose and proportion. And then finally, in the 8 minute pose, you're going to be adding contours, the edges that clothe the body. So I'm going to demonstrate today the 8 minute pose so that you can get an idea of that. I'm going to start with pencil. I hope you'll be able to see it okay. That's what I want you to start with. And then when I do the contours, I'm going to move to something darker, either a Sharpie, some kind of marker, a charcoal is what I traditionally use when I'm doing figure drawing. But if you don't have charcoal or chalk pastel at home, you can use a marker or a crayon. So we start the same way. We start with the lines of the figure. So the head, straight spine. My shoulders sit just below my chin and they're going back in space. Okay. Then my hips. This leg comes down and down. My foot's resting here. This leg is going out just a little bit, and the foot is a little bit higher than this foot. So I'm going to keep that in mind, and it's facing away from me. This arm comes down pretty straight and then goes out just a little bit, and my hand will end just about here in line with the body. This arm comes out and then rests here on the hip. So now I'm going to start adding those forms. See mostly the side of the head. And I'm seeing it sort of from below just a little bit. So I'm seeing a little bit of the lower part. There's a neck here, but I'm seeing very little of it. That torso element we're not seeing a lot of, but it is there. This, I'm seeing the side of it a little bit more. In the back here. I have this arm. And this arm. Use the direction of those ellipses or ovals to kind of point the direction. This leg starts here and points down here. And this one starts here. I'm actually going to move that in just a little bit. Okay. So now I'm ready to come in with the charcoal or the Sharpie. When you add the contours, the edges, I don't want you to just hug the forms, because the forms aren't there to be the shape. They're there to suggest what's underneath the skin. So the contour lines are going to come out from the body as if it's wearing like a coat, not like a perfectly skin tight outfit. That contour shouldn't cling to the forms. They should wrap the forms. So I have my head. It's not going over the pencil very well. So and then I have this line of the shoulder, comes here beneath my chin, curves down. And I'm using sort of short lines, but I'm not thinking too carefully about them. I'm sort of finding them as straight lines. Don't be too precious with this. Remember, this is the yoga of art making. It's about the act of it. So I'm coming here. There's a curve there. There's a curve there. Here. I have this curve of the body that starts here within this, angles in, and then angles out and down. Maybe I came out a little too far. I'm okay with that. Don't be afraid of making me like that. I'm going to be offended at the way you're making my body look. I am not offended by that at all. I really want you to focus on looking closely and not thinking about trying to make it flattering to me, but just trying to draw what you see to the best of your ability. I can handle it. I've got this curve of the knee, angle out, angle in, and then my foot sort of sits like that. I'm not trying to draw the clothes, though, you know, I could, if I have time, add some details. I'm mainly focusing on the outline. So my arm, there should be a little bit of a gap here. Okay, I could, if I have time, add sort of a swoop of my hair. If I had been thinking better, I would have put my hair up in a ponytail before, but I didn't think about it. So it's a little bit harder for you. But if you have time and you want to add some of these details in of the clothing, you can. But the point of it is to get these basic outline contours. And it's all right if they're a little bumpy. I'd rather you draw a decisive line than you so carefully draw over and over again the same careful to try to get it perfect. I'm not looking for perfect. I'm looking for the basic shape. So, best of luck.